Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Francis Uzo. I'm speaking to you live from the Business Sense Academy TV. Today, I'm going to be telling you or talking about when and how you can switch your career or your business. When and how you can switch your career or business. I've seen a whole lot of people do one business or the other, and after some time, they are not able to transit to the next level of their business. And I'll start my presentation with a story. Most of you who are elderly or who are matured enough will remember a company called Kodak. As at 1998, Kodak had about 170,000 staff. But by the early 2000s, a whole lot of things changed, technology changed, and they went bankrupt. They could no longer sustain the business that they started, and so they were not able to move because digital cameras came out and then took over the market. So people no longer have to print their pictures using the negative film again. And so that is how it works. So you need to know when to switch a career. You need to know whether this career is a career you are going to do for life, or you need to know whether this career you are going to do is going to take you for the next 10 years of your life, and then the next 20, the next 30, and then how are you going to retire in your career. You need to know so that you'll be able to set out a succession plan for your life. Now, let me tell you 6 reasons or 6 factors that can determine how or when you should switch your career. Number 1, if your career is threatened by technology, definitely you must begin to think of switching. If, for example, you are a banker, or you are an accountant, or you're a construction worker, you must know that new technologies are coming up these days that doesn't require the presence of an accountant, or that doesn't require the presence of a banker. Most banks are now using all forms of software machines to be able to do their businesses, hence making them to need less staff. So if you're working in such kind of industry where technology is gradually coming to take over the jobs, there you must begin to plan for a career switch. Number 2, if your lifestyle has changed, then you might be considering a switch in career. What do I mean by lifestyle has changed? There are career or there are businesses that you can do as long as you're single, but the moment you get married, you find it very difficult to continue in such career, especially if it's going to affect your family. In that case, you may have to start thinking. Also, as a result of age, if you are getting old, there are certain jobs that you can't do. If, for example, you started out as a bus conductor or as a bricklayer or as a construction worker where you need a lot of strength, but now age is beginning to tell on you, your lifestyle will change. You have to think, this job I'm doing now or this career I've chosen now, am I going to do it when I'm 40, 50, 60? You must plan for that. Number 3, when you are experiencing burnout. What is burnout? Burnout is a situation whereby you can no longer stand the job you're doing. You keep getting tired, you keep getting weak, each time you come back from work, you experience a mental deprivation, or you are exhausted mentally. You must begin to know that it's time to switch career. If, for example, you are a security man in a company and you are getting to the age of 40, 50, 60, sometimes when I see some old men who are security people, I used to pity them because it gives them a whole lot of stress. I can imagine what they go through when they get home. So you need to plan out. Whenever you start getting burnout, whenever you start getting, your job becomes boring, tiring, each time you remember that you're going to work, you're just frustrated or stranded. My friend, you need a switch in career. Another thing that can determine your career switch is when you need more money. When your present job or career or business can no longer sustain your lifestyle. There are jobs you can do and manage as long as you're a single man or a single lady, but the moment you get married, you discover that the income coming from that job can no longer sustain your status as a married man. Then when you start having children, you look at your salary, and then you have looked at everything. There is no potential for you to grow in such an organization. The same salary you've been paid for the last 5 years or 10 years when you were still a bachelor or a spinster is the same salary you are receiving now that you are married, you need to consider a switch in career in such a way that you plan your life, you save towards starting up something that can meet up your expectation even as a family person. So whenever you think or you discover that your present job is offering you far more less than your expectation, then you need to quit. Very simple. Also, when you find your job boring, is one of the greatest signs of switching career. When you are bored, when your job is no longer interesting to you, when you may just have to probably think of switching or think of doing something totally different. When your job is very stressful, you must switch a career. So how do you switch career? How do you switch career? One of the problems of people is that they have never sat down to plan their lives. They've never sat down to plan, okay, I'm 20, when I get to 30, this is what I want to do. When I get to 40, when I get to 50, when I get to 60, this is what I'm going to do. If you don't plan your life, you are going to discover that you get to a particular age where your current job or your current career can no longer sustain you. And in that case, you become frustrated. I've seen many people who tell me stories of, oh, I remember when I was working in so and so, I made a lot of money, ladies were coming, this and that. They said so many stories, but now, where is the money? Now, where is the prosperity? Now, where is the wealth? Now, where there is no health. They can't even enjoy now that they are getting old. So you discover that if you plan your life, you're going to say, I'm doing this now. In the next 10 years, will my strength, will my marital status, will my beliefs still carry me for this particular job? If you think about it, then you plan your life. So, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to save up, I'm going to build resources. As I'm working here, I know my mind is somewhere. If you plan your life is not going to be by accident. You're not going to join those people who keep telling stories about how their pasts were better. Your future should be greater than your past, not your past better than your future. And the only way your future can be greater is by planning. The simple solution, sit down, plan your life for the next 70, 80 to 100 years. You will discover that you have a beautiful end in this world. Thank you very much. My name still remains Francis Uzo from the Business Sense Academy.